Good morning. Uh, Good morning, everybody. We got Herbie, Bill, and Cap. Good morning. Happy Juneteenth, June 19th. Good morning. Vegas Mandy, D. Anderson, Derek. I'm drinking the dew today because it's like $2 for a 2 liter of Mountain Dew. I don't care if I have an addiction. Morning. Bought it this morning. I'll probably get through it in like 2 hours. It'll be fine. Alright, I got water. I drink lemonade. Alright, I still do the. I forgot about the deals. I don't know if they're really deals though. We'll discuss it real quick here. But I went to the store, which is North Deal in of itself. But morning, Tasha. You remember these things? The lemonades and the Kool-Aids? Dudes. So like you get one portion of the cup of that into like a jar here. If Ladrand was here, he'd be dabbing up real quick for showing you like my jar. This is my jar show. There we go. So like you fill that up. You put, the lemonade and the Kool-Aid in there, and oh man, that lasts me like an hour. And then I realized that I was thinking about that last night as I was trying to sleep. I was like, oh man, am I gonna have to pee in the middle of the night? I probably am. And I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I go through like 3 of those jars every day. Thankfully, these little containers are only like $3 each, and they're gonna last me like a week, which is great because normally I'd like go to the store, I'd spend like $2 on a drink, and come back. I'm like, oh man, I gotta spend $2 again tomorrow. You know what I mean? And it's like, any way to like save a little bit of money, I guess. But am I? I think I am. I don't know though. I'm drinking 3 of those jars every day, and I was thinking like, I don't think there's a whole lot of substance in the mixtures. Well, because I mixed I should get like the Gatorade mix, yeah, and maybe mix some Gatorade. But anyhow, blah 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 blah. I think there's a lot of salt in this, and I haven't like really done any research or anything. But holy balls, am I really thirsty after I take a drink of some of this stuff? Isn't too much in? I don't know. But anyway, that's how we start Mondays here. We talk about Kool-Aid mix. Morning, everybody. Morning. Uh, let's do something. We're out in the mush lab right now. You go to Walmart, you get yours. I went to the Myers. Me and this Myers, we got a history. About 9 months ago, I walk in to this Myers, and so I have a hernia. I don't like talking about it. Blah blah blah. I'm working it out now. I got a appointment with a surgeon coming up next month. Blah 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 blah. Don't whatever, right? Just stuff that we all have to do. It's taken me 5 years. Anyhow, blah blah blah. To get to this hernia, like to get it worked on. Like now I got the state to pay for it. Haha. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to do any of this. I hate surgery. I hate medical issues. When I grew up, when I was born, I lived my life in the hospital, and 6 major surgeries by the time I was 6. I don't know that I remember most of them. I know that I remember like being in a hospital bed one time and my mom was talking to her about me and right over me. I'm like, oh man, I think this is me. And they bust out this big needle. Good morning, MVP. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Monday with Brock. If you don't know who the heck I am, pay attention. And so my mom is standing to the one side of the hospital bed, and on the other side the doctor is there, and he busts out this big needle. He's like, "This is what we're gonna take his blood with," and it's the biggest needle I've ever seen in my entire life, right? um, the biggest needle, like I freaked out, and I'm like, "Oh, right." And then I look over to my right, and there's my mom just, oh. And like I'm like, what the heck is my mom? Hey mom, hey, what are you doing down there, mom? Right? Like I was like, oh man. So that's the kind of thing I grew up with, you know. I remember in 8th grade, I snapped the tendon. Ooh, I rarely get to see my elbow. Rarely get to see my elbow. I snapped the tendon connecting my bicep to my elbow. Snapped. Beep. I hit it on the ground as I fell over on my bike. And that hurt, right? But I didn't know what the heck happened. And like my mom's boyfriend that we were living, like we were there, like he didn't know what the heck happened, right? And so like I was like, well, I guess I'll just take a bath. That'll help. So I'm in. Remember, I got the bicep tendon snap. Boop, biceps crawling up my arm, retracting as I'm alive, right? My mom's working night shift, so she's gone, not in the house right at this time. And she comes home. She at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the couch. My arm is elevated because that's the only way I'm not screaming, right? Oh yeah, you're telling me, Mike. Like that, I'm just like, all right, here we go. This is it. This is how I have to be for the rest of my life now. All right, cool. You know, 8th grade. So what am I like, 13, 12, 13, 14? I don't know. Something like that. And my mom comes home. It's dark. I'm on the couch in the living room. She goes, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just kind of laying here. All right. She wanted to watch a little TV. She's like, all right, let's watch some TV. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she turns the TV on, and the lights come up a little bit. She looks over at me, and she goes, "How are you okay?" I go, "Yeah, I just kind of hurt my arm a little." And she kind of like turns the lights all the way on, and we both look at my arm. And my arm, it's like, if I could show it, it'd be creepy. My arm was the size of that. Oh my God, my arm was the size of my leg. And I was like, oh man, that's not good. And she's like, what the hell happened to your arm? So we went in to the hospital, to the doctor, right? And the doctor's like, yeah, you snapped the tendon to his bicep. It's crawling up his arm. And we could fix it. But your kid's only got like, what, 5-10% movement of my arm? Like, I don't really have much movement. That's it. I got that. It's like 5%. He'll lose all of that. We'll freeze his arm in place. We can just let it go. You stop it. We just, freeze his arm in place, or we can fix it and, give him back that 5%. And my mom, I don't know why she gave me this choice. She looks at me and she goes, okay, so, because around 14, I know we're poor. Okay? I know this. She goes, okay, what what do you want to do? I go, I kind of want my arm. But in my head, I promise you, this is all going on in my head. I'm like, man, no surgery, no costs. Oh, man, this is going to cost to fix my arm. I'm sorry, Mom, but I want my arm. I was used to that 5%. I need that 5%. I don't know what the heck that 5% is not going to be, you know? But in my head, I'm like, man, sorry, Mom, but I need that 5%. She goes, okay. And never once made a mention of it at all. But, like, those are the crazy little sacrifices, like, parents make for their kids. She gave me the option of, like, 5% of my arm. Leading up to my dad. Pops. Pops and I have a crazy relationship. Kind of an atypical family. Typical family, I don't know, like mom and dad, not together. But like, and he talks about his past. But like, we're basically the same creature. And what it came down to is for a long time it was trying to live up to expectations, you know. And I remember one time we were hanging out, Pops and I, we were having a good time. And this is all after like the college experiment, where it turns out we can't live together very well, or at least not at that time. We were having a good time, and Pops goes, "Why are we having a good time?" I go, "Because we don't have any expectations of each other." This came out of my like 23-year-old smart ass mouth. And like you can see the lights like brighten up on his face. I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. So like, it's all about like trying. I think with everybody, it's trying to figure out how to live without expectations. You know, just exist and like, oh, there you are. All right. We got to do a giveaway, or not a giveaway. I need 3 names. So I'm gonna do 3 of these things. I'm gonna read them, and then I don't know. You guys want to get to the book? Remember, I got this book that we've been reading. That I started reading on Instagram, and maybe we want to read through the book. We'll obviously do a little dibble dabble. Kind of want to do a dibble dabble now, but I did the dibble dabble before this. It's good stuff. But let's get some names. So, yeah, we want to get to the book. Someone said, yeah, Captain. Alright, killer. Let's do this first one, though. Right, Vegas, I get it, man. Poor sucks balls. Alright. So here's the first flower, herb, plant, botanical. We got primrose. We got hoops. I think you mean hops, but it's not hops. We got the P from CCS. Oh, I get it, CCS now. Okay. Censored Citizen Scientist. It's not mush love. Almond. Aaron Leister. Aaron, come on, Aaron. Aaron, we got your name on the big wheel now. Aaron Leister. Killing it already. Aaron. Nice job, Aaron L. Aaron L. Nice job. That was a quick one. I'll read that. Let me write your name down here. Aaron L. Oh! I know what we can talk about real quick. Nice job, Aaron. Let's read about almond real quick, and then we can talk about something real quick. All right. Almond. An elegant shrub originating in Western and Central Asia. I didn't know that, Asia. With oblong serrated leaves. You know, every time you eat something, you're like, oh yeah, it's always been here. Asia. Its pink-white blossom. Almond is a blossom. I thought it was a tree. It's often exposed to frost as it flowers early. The drupes have a light green velvety skin containing a dry outer hull around the sweet or bitter almond. It is a potent softener prized since ancient Egypt. Egypt? I didn't know that. Almonds, I knew almonds have been around for a while. But all the way back in ancient Egypt. I'll be damned. Almond damned. Alright. Sometimes you... God. Okay, let's talk about art. Now that I got a captive audience here. And, let's... Here's to the red cup. You know what, Derek? For all you know, I was lying. Maybe this could just be water. It's Mountain Dew. Alright. Mike, are you here, buddy? Mike, Kim's teaching. I know she's got teaching on Mondays. Dude, why didn't anybody tell me I had a booger on my nose, you weirdos? Alright. MVP. Oh, man. See, this is why I shouldn't read the comments. CCS is all like, hey, can you come milk my almonds? Come on, man. Not a big fan of... I'm not reading any of this, you guys. Alright. Let's just do the show. You guys have your own show, apparently. And that's hilarious to me. Hilarious. So... Now that I know Mike is there, apparently paying attention to somewhere else, raise your hand if you knew that I was doing like a little bit of a art auction last week. Alright, I had like a blank canvas, and there you are, Mike. Okay. So I had a blank canvas, 11 by 14. You didn't know? Well, now we know about the next one. The proceeds, all the proceeds, everything, I'll have to pay for shipping, but like, not a big deal. All the proceeds for the auction are going to Mike and Kim to help pay for food or whatever for the Rocky Mountain Mush Fest. Kind of like a little sidetrack into Colorado for anybody that's like, you know, hey man, I want to go hiking in Colorado. So they're hanging out in Colorado City-ish area next month, and I can't be there. But what's funny is I'll be there for like the week beforehand, right? And so like in a way to like help kind of like be there but not be there. You know, I just kind of doing a little auction item. So last week I auctioned off a blank canvas, and I had a couple people bid on it, which is kind of fun. I like knowing it's fun seeing like people bid on that stuff. You know, I'm like, oh wow, you know. I had someone like re-up their bid too. I was like, oh cool, I hope you win, because then I can make something for you. And then two people like snuck bids in at the end there and like stole it from them. I'm like, oh, that sucked balls. Sorry about that, guy. Ha ha. Actually, it is ha ha. It's more ha ha. I'm never really like I'm not like, I got him. That's the guy that I watch the YouTube fail ones where like people get like, you know, booped in the head or whatever, and I'm like, I got him. Or like they think they got missed and then like comes back around and bonks them. I'm like, I got him. Because it's like, got him. The universe is like, you're it. And so anyhow, last week, the winner, she sent me, it was Gypsy Life or two or three over on Instagram. She sent me some Southwest photography that she'd taken. Beautiful stuff. Whether or not it was her, or maybe like her favorite ones or whatnot, not sure. But she's like, "Can you do something inspired by that?" And I was like, I don't know, maybe. So this is what I came up with. This is the prophets. Because she was like, I think I see, like, I look at the stones and I'm like, oh wow, well thank you guys. She goes, I see people in the stones. I go, yeah, I totally agree. Thank you, thank you guys. That was a lot of fun. I actually like practiced. Um, I practiced that because I've been on like a scribble scrabble thing lately. And part of the idea that I had was not that. There was going to be other parts to it. Thank you guys. I'll show it. I'll show it again. But I wanted to show you, like, I really did practice. So I've been on like a scribble scrabble kind of kick and trying to find what I wanted to do and at first I just kind of freehanded like one shading or like filling technique at a time, right? And so that's the first part. Like, all right, so that was circular, and it's my favorite one. It's my favorite technique I like doing. Very angular. Ooh, I really like that one. Alright, and then just kind of challenge myself a little bit. Like, alright, well, let's turn everything into kind of like a cactus flower. Let's see what it all looks like if I turn it into a cactus kind of flower. You know? I like that. That was really cool. So it's practice. That's the first time I've actually practiced for art, for a specific piece. So that was a lot of fun creating. My next piece that I want to make, good morning to everybody. My next piece, I kind of want to work on a Hopi clown. And I have a piece, it's going to be on a small board. This is my attempt at a dandelion. Art is not tough. Art is what you make it, Mike. A lot of people look at my stuff and they go, that sucks ass. I can't believe people give you money for that stuff. And I go, you are absolutely correct. I have no idea why people would give me money for that stuff. Alright, you don't have to defeat me. I'm already done. Alright? So that's the beauty of being an artist. So, but anyhow, let's I gotta tell a little story there about that. That's a complete. That's what I like to call a goof up. That was just black. I was trying to do like a pattern, and it didn't come out right. I'm like, oh no! Now I got a big old black spot on the board. I'm like, oh no! I just ruined the whole thing. I'm like, oh, what did I do? And I'm like, well, let's just do white spots. Turns out it was okay. I thought I ruined it. Art's what you make it, Mike. All right. I thought, oh man. So I'm gonna do another giveaway, another auction on Instagram. Brock _lobster. I don't do anything on there except for art and philosophy. Alright, so either today or tomorrow I'm going to set up another auction for another piece. Winner will be announced on Friday on Instagram. And I'll take another weekend to do, thank you, Irby, to do the next piece. Whatever you want. I asked Gypsy, like, do you want something random or do you want something personal? You know, because I actually had like an idea of something I wanted to do, and then she showed me the photography, and I was like, all right, that's not what I was gonna do. And then I was like, maybe I can do another thing, and then I was like, that's not gonna work for her piece, and that was the Hopi doll. The Hopi doll is or the Hopi clown. Oh man, where's the phone? Never mind. So there's a Hopi clown. Google Hopi clown. H-O-P-I, Hopi Indian, Hopi clown. C-L-O-W-N. And that, I kind of want to I want to do like, that'll be my first figure piece. I really love the Hopi clown. So, a Hopi clown. So the Hopi Indians are the originators of what you would think of as like the American clown. The mischievous clown, the mischievous spirit, the poltergeist, if you will. But like more like the sassy clown, like they were allowed to, these Hopis painted and represented as the clown, they were allowed to make fun of social stuff and mores, and like they were the jerks in the back heckling they were the hecklers, and so very expressive too, like sex is part of like society, and so they would like make fun of sexuality as well. But like the Hopi clown is the closest approximation, the most recent approximation I can think of is the three little ghouls in Nightmare Before Christmas. Those are Hopi clowns. If you look at their masks, and then you look at like Hopi masks for the clowns, those are your typical Hopi clowns, in my opinion. I could be completely off, and someone could tell me I'm completely off. I don't think I am. But yeah, I think they're based on Hopi clowns. So, and I love Hopi clowns. So, well, MVP, clowns aren't supposed to be funny. They're supposed to sass up. You know, they're supposed to like get you to question things. And they're, you know, you gotta defend yourself against the spirits too. So you gotta put on the makeup, and that way the spirits don't know that it's actually you tomorrow morning that, like, you know, showed your penis to God. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I'll wear makeup if that's what if that's all it takes. I don't know what the Hopi clowns are doing, but like, woo. All right, next one. Let's just do another. Pick an herb. I need another name. All right. Juggalos. Oh no, those aren't Hopi clowns. No, that's no. No, we got this one. No, we got cumin. We got lavender. We got sage. We got oregano. I always want to say orangano. I don't know. We got mint. Mint? Let's just say, like, there's a song. We got dogwood. We've got snapdragon. Oh, I think I know it. LOL. Question, question, question. Me too, Jesus Christ. Alternator. We got mint again. We got rosemary. Come on, Tosh. I know you know this one. We've got strawberry. And we've got MDK, Menace the Dentist. You know what? We got time. It's time. It's not Samantha. It's not Azalea. Samantha. Is that an actual herb? MDK. Dennis the Menace. We got your name on the big wheel. Time. Dennis got it. Dennis the Menace got it. He misspelled it. I think probably the spell check was like, you're not looking for seasonings right now, are you? No, you're trying to talk about time in a relative sense. Alright. And so, I get that. So that's why I'm giving that, like, I know his autocorrect was like, you're not trying to win the contest here. You're trying to speak to how much more time is left. About a half hour, folks. Alright, MDK. We got your name on the big wheel, spinning wheel on Friday for Pops, alright? So, thanks for letting me show you, talk about my art there for a minute. And we'll do one more name after the book. Alright, so before we get into that though, let's dibble dabble. You guys want to dibble dabble? Who's ready to dibble dabble? Remember, it's going to be 3 of them. Because we don't mess around here. Alright, I'm going to get some Mountain Dew. Y'all get yourselves ready to dibble dabble. This is what they call dead air. And you're not supposed to have dead air. Like on the radio or whatever. Like, this is how I'm supposed to fill up space instead of just like keeping everything quiet. Because then you're going to end up looking at your screen and being like, what the hell's going on? So, I'm just trying to keep the little ASMR goofy people that are like, oh man, this really helps me like pass the time. Did you hear that? Pouring of the liquid? Alright, keep going. Dead air again. Don't look. Okay. Still Mountain Dew though, Derek. Still Mountain Dew. Do you guys want to do the good stuff? Or the reclaim? I'm going to do the reclaim. Alright, let's do a reclaim hit or 3. A lot of this reclaim, I think, also involves, I think that's CBD. I don't know. But, yay, reclaim. Dibble dabble time. I know you guys like to see fire, so let's watch. Let's watch some fire, shall we? So the guy that's like, who's this guy? This is who I am. That's what you're paying attention to. Mondays, man. They're fun days. I just don't want to mess up with YouTube anymore and like sing-alongs or whatever and be like, oh man, I'm the reason. You know, I don't want to do that. I always thought it was going to be me too. Tina Turner. I probably would have gotten like around to Tina Turner too. Ah well. Oh, we got one more going, guys. Alright. One more. I really like this this collector. I'll show you here real quick. Already reclaimed, ready to go. I cleaned that thing yesterday. I'm a heavy hitter. That's my fault. Alright. Let's get into this book. What's this book? This book, it's called Become What You Are. I've been reading it, started reading it on Instagram from the beginning. We went through. There's the cough. Oh, 1 second. I thought I could get past the cough. Ah, damn it. That was an amateur move. Amateur move. So the last section we went through was a very epistemological, meaning let's define a lot of terms and figure out how and why we use them. Super boring. Educational as hell. A good way to like convince yourself that everything is alright. To figure out your logic and why it means something. So it was super boring, and I couldn't heckle it very much because I was like, man, I had to pay attention to it all. I was getting lost. So hopefully this next couple of bits that we get through for the book, a little more entertaining. I don't know, whatever, Alan. You disappointed me. Alright, here I am getting disappointed by an author of a book that's been dead for 30 years. Speaking of dead for 30 years, Cormac McCarthy just died. And that's one of the biggest influences of my writing and my the way that I see things is Cormac McCarthy. His book, The Road, is a good book. Not my favorite. Blood Meridian. Blood Meridian is the craziest book in the world. But I'm not saying I even understand it. I'll have to read it again. But it's been a while, and I don't like to read things. It's been like 10 years. It's about time I start reading it again. But Blood Meridian and the way that Cormac McCarthy writes introduced me to the concept of like the environment can be a character too. Like the evil mountains. The mountains could be really evil. But like the Blood Meridian is like the horizon on the sky during like a sunrise or sunset. Like that's Blood Meridian. I think. I don't know. Anyhow, Cormac McCarthy died, so that sucked. But then I'm like, wait, he's been what, like 83? He's 83? It's about time. Get out of here. You know what I mean? I don't know. I had a fortune teller tell me that I was going to live till I'm 100. I told her to go F herself. No way I'm staying alive till I'm 100. Are you freaking for real? Who that? Man, the language of metaphysics. That's what we went through. That was the last 100 years of this? Oh, God. Maybe I'll try for, you know what I mean? Like, 25 more years. 30. Yeah, we'll go 30. It's already been 30 years of like, I think I got this. 10 years old? Isn't that when you first tell you? Alright, not to like blow any minds or anything, but well, I'm disabled, right? And so like it took a while for me to figure out how to do things, right? So 10 years old, I figured out how to put my shirt on by myself. I got my shirt on by myself for the very first time. And I went up to my grandma. I was like, Grandma, I got my shirt on. I got my shirt on by myself. And she's like, that's a good job, baby. You're good. And my mom, Mom, I got my shirt on by myself. That's good, baby. You're good. And then that's when I was like, you kind of turn around and you kind of catch your mom dabbing her eye a little bit. You kind of catch your grandma dabbing her eye a little bit. And it's like, why are you crying? They're like, oh, we love you, baby. And it's not until later on that you realize, like, no, you're good, baby. You know, I got it. You know what I mean? So 10 years old, right? And I'm like, all right, I think I can do this. So I'm 43, so yeah, you know, give me like 30 more years. 73, off me. Good intentions. It is an old saying that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Those who believe that motive is the most important factor in any undertaking will be puzzled by this saying. For is not right motive the first step in the Buddha's path? And is it not stressed again and again that each step is set about with danger if the motive for taking it is not pure? But beware of good motives. There are good intentions, and things are not always what they seem. Nothing is easier than to give up the world because one is incompetent in the affairs of the world. Just because you don't know about politics doesn't mean you're not supposed to know about politics. That's me saying that. There is no wisdom in scorning riches simply because one is unable to obtain them, nor in despising the pleasures of the senses because one has not the means of fulfilling them. If the desire for these things exists, and if that desire is thwarted by circumstance, to add self-deception to frustration is to exchange a lesser hell for a greater. You know you want this. You ain't quit. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, yo. No hell is worse than that in which one lives without knowing it. You ain't gotta lie to kick it. For the desire which is scorned, for no other reason than that it cannot be satisfied, is the greatest of man's enemies. One may pretend that it does not exist, that one has surrendered it, but one must sincerely answer the question, if I could satisfy that desire, would I? Man, how many lottery tickets have I bought? And here I am, I'm like, reclaim, yeah, you know? Got those lotto tickets. I watch Jeopardy every night, and it's usually Wheel and then Jeopardy. But sometimes just Jeopardy. I just come in at like the beginning of Jeopardy. But if I'm watching Wheel and Jeopardy, we got the lotto numbers that come up, and we got a 3 lotto number, and we got a 4 lotto number. And I tell you what, every night I know I got the number, and not even close ever once. For the last year and a half, not even close ever once. Maybe 2 out of the 4, but not in order. But every night I try, and I tell myself, if I do get the number, I'm gonna go buy a ticket, which is stupid, because that means I've already gotten the number for a lottery I can't win. That I'm gonna go buy a ticket for, but I won't win, because I've already won. But that's my brain. If I could fulfill this desire, would I? If that is not answered, to make a show of giving up the world to take up the ascetic life, not of desire but of necessity, and to pride oneself upon it, that is to hide one's face from the enemy and so become doubly vulnerable. Hey, I got these beans, man. You want to buy some beans? Why? Dude, I hear you nailed the daily 3. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. 3 beans, man. Dude, I got you. How many? How much? Thus, the first step on the path is to know what you want, not what you ought to want. Only in this way can the pilgrim set out upon his journey fully prepared. Otherwise, he is like a general that leads a campaign into an unknown territory, who, instead of ascertaining his own strength and the strength and position of his foe, concerns himself only with what he imagines these things ought to be. Alright? It's like playing Battleship, right? But you can stand up and look at your opponent's board. You're an adult. Alright? But instead you're like, oh, I can't do it. No, I'm playing Battleship. No, stand up and look at the board. You're big enough. Who's going to push you down? And however good his imaginations, he will without doubt lead his army into a hell. Become What You Are by Alan Watts. Alright? People, that's the book we're reading from. Alright? That's not a way of No, Jesus Christ. No. That's just how you're supposed to live life. You're allowed to stand up and look at the board. Alright? You don't have to, get lost in the game. We're going to go through... Oh, boy. I think we can do this. Alright. That's not cheating. It's standing up and look at the board. Don't get lost in the game. Alright? If you're so busy hiding your game, don't look at my game. You're going to look at other people's games. It happens. You know? Or play chess. Dude, who doesn't side-eye the board a little bit when you're trying to hide your board? You know you're trying to catch out where that little destroyer is. You know you are. Don't look at my board. Cheating. Stand up. Quit hiding your board. It's a game. Zen. Although Zen is a word of only 3 letters, 3 volumes would not explain it. Not even 3 libraries of volumes. If one were to compile books on the subject to the end of time, they would not explain it, for all that could be written would only be ideas about Zen, not Zen itself. Indeed, whoever imagines he has explained Zen has in fact only explained it away. It can no more be bound by a definition than the wind can be shut in a box without ceasing to be wind. Thus, any attempt to write on Zen may seem an absurdity from the beginning, but that is only so if either reader or writer imagines that Zen can be contained in a set of ideas. You're the asshole reading this. A book about London is in no sense London itself, and no sane person would dream of thinking that it is. Yet apparently intelligent people often make the equally ridiculous mistake of identifying a philosophical system, a dogma, a creed, with ultimate truth, imagining that they have found that truth embraced in a set of propositions which appeals to their reason. There are thousands of men and women searching through volume after volume visiting religious societies and attending the lectures of famous teachers in the vain hopes that they will one day come upon some explanation of the mysteries of life, some saying, some idea which will contain the solution to the infinite riddle. Some continue the search till they die. Others imagine that in various ideologies they have found what they desire, and a few penetrate beyond ideas about truth to truth itself. There are some religions and philosophies which lend themselves more easily than others to the error of mistaking the idea for the reality. Religions in which the creed and the symbol are emphasized at the expense of the spiritual experience which they are intended to embody. This, however, is less a reflection on those religions than on the ignorance of their devotees. But there is at least one cult in which this error is almost impossible, precisely because it has no creed, no philosophical system, no canon of scriptures, no intellectually comprehensible doctrine. So far as it can be called a definite cult at all, it consists of devices for freeing the soul from its fetters, devices which are picturesquely described as fingers pointing at the moon. Remember, we read about fingers at the moon. And he is a fool who mistakes the finger for the moon. Oh, man. This cult is Zen. I'm sorry, guys. I got us trapped in Zen. A form of Buddhism that developed in China and now flourishes principally in Japan. Zen is itself a Japanese word derived from the Chinese Chan or Chana, a form of the Sanskrit dhyana, which is usually rendered in English as meditation or contemplation. This, however, is a misleading translation, for although in the terminology of yoga, dhyana, it's a D-H-Y, I don't know if that's dhyana, signifies a certain state of contemplation, a state of what we should somewhat inaccurately call trance. Zen is a far more inclusive term. We come nearer to its meaning if we remember that the word dhyana is related to, G with the N umlaut and nya. So go jnana, the Greek gnosis, or knowledge, in the very highest sense of that word, which is to say, supreme spiritual enlightenment. Eat the apple. Nana, another form of what is sometimes spelled Zen, is very close to Zen. Okay, there we go. The more so when we remember that Zen is said to have found enlightenment when sitting. There we go. Remember that Zen is said to have come into the world at the moment when Gautama the Buddha found enlightenment when sitting one night under the famous Bodhi tree at Bodh Gaya in northern India. There, according to the teachers of Zen, he found something which cannot be expressed in any form of words, an experience which every man must undergo for himself, themself, herself, which can no more be passed on from one man or another than you can eat another person's food for them. Zen, however, as a specific cult, is mainly a product of the Chinese mind. Buddhism developed in India as a highly subtle and abstract system of philosophy, a culture of sublime otherworldliness, perfectly suited to the inhabitants of a hot climate where life is able to flourish with little labor. Just hide out in the caves, build, brick homes that give you all the shade that you need. The Chinese and the Japanese, on the other hand, have a climate nearer to our own and have the same practical bent as the peoples of Northern Europe. There's a lot of grass around, which means you got to tend to let it grow and still. Perhaps the greatest triumph of Buddhism is that it was able to adapt itself to a mentality so far removed from the Indian. Remember, Indians just got to hang out, man. Just don't stay out of the sun. I mean, they're growing stuff too. It's just super hot out there as compared to a more moderate temperature where you're like, all right, we got more stuff you can do, more distracted. Thus, Zen has been described as the Chinese revolt against Buddhism. It would be nearer the truth to call it the Chinese interpretation of Buddhism, although the term revolt certainly conveys the fierce, almost iconoclastic character of Zen. A cult which has no patience with any practice or formula, which has not immediate relationship with the one thing of importance, enlightenment. To understand this revolt or interpretation, or better, revolutionary interpretation, some of the fundamental principles of Buddhism must be borne in mind. Alright? Hold on, guys. I love this stuff. We got a while. I might cut it halfway. I don't know. Probably cut it halfway. The Buddha, who lived some 600 years BCE, taught that life as we live it is necessarily unharmonious because of the selfish, possessive attitude we adopt towards it. In Sanskrit, this attitude is called Trishna, often mistranslated desire. And though there is no one word for it in English, it may be understood as the craving to resist change, to save our own skins at all costs, to possess those who we love, in fact, to hold on to life, like grim death. And that particular phrase has its moral. If anything that lives and moves is held, it dies, just like a plucked flower. Egotism is a fierce holding on to oneself. You're plucking your own flower, jackasses? That's the word. I'm having a moment. It is building oneself up in a haughty stronghold, refusing to join in the play of life. I'm a flower, look at me. Refusing to accept the eternal laws of change of movement to which all are subject. You just pluck that, knock that off, put that back in the dirt. But that refusal can only be illusion. Whether we like it or not, change comes, and the greater the resistance, the greater the pain. Buddhism perceives the beauty of change, for life is like music in this. If any note or phrase is held for longer than its appointed time, the melody is lost. Thus, Buddhism may be summed up in two phrases: let go and walk on. In Monty Python, when the joke keeps going, and then God shows up and he's like, get on with it. Drop the craving for self, for permanence, for particular circumstances, and go straight ahead with the movement of life. The state of mind thereby attained is called nirvana. But this is a teaching easy to misunderstand, for it is so easy to represent the doctrine of letting go as an utter denial of life and the world, and nirvana as a state of infinitely removed from all earthly concerns. Zen, however, corrected this error in the most surprising and unique manner. So much so that a great part of the Zen teachings may appear at first to be mere buffoonery or nonsense. Oh, okay, let's get into some buffoonery and nonsense. A disciple came to Zen master Cao Cao and asked, I have just come to this monastery. Would you mind giving me some instruction, please? The master replied, have you eaten your breakfast yet or not? Yes, I have, sir. Then wash your dishes. It is said that as a result of this remark, the disciple was suddenly enlightened as to the whole meaning of Zen. On another occasion, a master was about to address an assembly of students when a bird began to sing in a nearby tree. The master remained silent until the bird had finished, and then, announcing that his address had been given, went away. My favorite one. Another master set a pitcher before two of his disciples. "Do not call it a pitcher," he said, "but tell me what it is." One replied, "It cannot be called a piece of wood." The master, however, was not satisfied with this answer, and he turned to the other disciple, who simply knocked the pitcher over and walked away. This action had the master's full approval. I love kicking pitchers over. You're not going to get me to call that a piece of wood. It will be asked whether these antics have the least connection with religion, even with ordinary sanity. They are regarded by the exponents of Zen as full of the deepest significance, and when we remember that Zen has been, beyond question, one of the most powerful influences in shaping the art and culture of the Far East, such behavior is entitled to respect. Has it some symbolic meaning? What is it about? The answer is that it has no symbolic meaning and that it is about nothing. But it is something. And that something is that very obvious but much ignored thing. Life. The Zen master is in fact demonstrating life in its actuality. Without words or ideas, he is teaching his disciples to know life directly. Sometimes, in answer to a religious question, he will give a smack on the face, returning a reality for an abstraction. You hit me in the face. Oh, you better know some God words. If he gave a reasoned answer, the disciple would be able to analyze it, to subject it to intellectual dissection, and to imagine a mere lifeless formula as a living truth. Ain't that the truth? But with a smack, a bird, don't hit me. A pitcher, I'll kick the pitcher over. A heap of dishes, there can be no mistake. A smack is here one moment and gone the next. I swear to God. There is nothing you can catch hold of. I'll catch your hands. You'll catch mine. Nothing other than the most lively fact, as much alive as the passing moment which can never be made to stay. And the bird is a bird. You hear its song, but you cannot seize the notes to make them continue. We'll finish up next Monday, maybe. Let's do another card. I need one more name. Alan Watts, y'all. Zen. A bird. You want to know what all of this is about? Step outside. Go look at the moon. I'm showing you. The moon's like right there. Go look at the moon. I can hear a bird. I don't know if you guys have heard that bird over there. Well, I'm hearing a bird. Catch hands, though. Don't smack me, teacher. Don't need to be doing that with me. You'll never get the... You'll never guess this one. There's no way you're gonna guess this one. You're gonna guess, like, that. And I'm gonna be like, that's not true at all. I can't do that one. That one's... Maybe we can do this one. Let's... Ooh. Yeah, you won't get this one. Alright, here we go. Last one. Thanks for sticking around, y'all. This is to get your name on the big Wheelo whatnot giveaway thing on Friday with Pops. He'll be back tomorrow. Check out the Instagram. when I set up the next auction. If you're into if you want me to do a art thing for you. So here we go. Here we go. Let's do this. Thanks for letting me host. We'll read this one off. Joey Fortunato. Hi, Joey. What's up, buddy? I haven't seen you. We got Poppy, Bilky. Did we even read about? I don't think I did read. Yeah, we did almonds. Yeah, that was the what was the other one that we did? I don't know. But we got Thistle, MVP. We got Orchid. We've got Suprock. We've got Dandelion. I was gonna do Dandelion, and then I was like, nah, don't do that one. And then there was like another one called an art. Man, whatever. Petunia. We got Daphne. We got Cranberry. We've got Primrose. We've got Morning Glory. Let me read about it. A bush growing to 2 to 3 meters. Chinese fringe flower, commonly found in hedgerows and woodland in Europe. Cherry, coffee, marjoram, Western Asia and North Africa. Okay. So Italy. Germany on down the lake. Morocco. We got wormwood. Long, upright, gently curving stems. Covered with sharp thorns. You don't want to be grabbing onto this stuff. Apparently. We got peony, arabica, hydrangea. Is that how you spell that? I didn't know that. Hydrangea. Gardenia. I should probably know hydrangea if it's here. We got Lorpetulia. If that's an actual one, that's a good job on that one. I don't know. We got a pinky pricker. We got a primrose. We got. What I can say is it's kind of like a primrose. When it's not like a primrose, that's all I can say. We got vanilla. That's not a real one. We got a kumquat. Maybe, right? Because of the seeds. Look like a little kumquat. I get that. That's a good call. We got a hibiscus. We got a bougainvillea. We got Nerio. We got a morning primrose. We got periwinkle. I know that's a plant. I don't think I've ever seen periwinkle. I know the color of periwinkle. We've got rose. We've got dog rose. Laura Devine. Goodness, dog rose. There it is. Dog rose. Boop. A bow wow. All right. Let's read a little bit more. Let's just read what these can do. Rose hips alleviate the flu and other infectious diseases. I didn't know that. Dog rose, super helpful. The vitamin C of one little hip is equal to a large lemon. Dude, that's neat. Just get your vitamin C. You just eat one of those and you're like vitamin C'd up for a week. Rose hips have astringent properties, which makes them an effective remedy for enteritis and diarrhea. The decoction is both an efficient anti-diarrheal and an antithelmintic for roundworm. No comment, okay? Rosehip powder can provide significant relief from the pain of osteoarthritis. Alright. Due to its anti-inflammatory effect. So it'll stop your guts from squishing around and also stop your nerves from flapping around. I don't know if you have flappy nerves, you should probably be taking more than dog rose. The flowers have a slight laxative effect. What the fudgel? Oh, alright, don't eat the flowers. Alright. While the tannin-rich leaves can be used as an astringent to treat the diarrhea. Don't eat this. Don't, alright? This is the weirdest thing in the world. The flowers will make you poop. But like everything else is like, don't poop. Alright? That's the dog roast. That's what you get for eating plants. Alright? I'm gonna stick to my steaks. Trying to get me vegan-y. You weirdos. That's what you get. One part of the plant makes you... The other part... You know what I mean? Come on, knock that off. You're gross. Lord Divine, I gotta write your name down. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around. I'll see you guys next Monday. For more of the book, more art, more whatever, right? So we got Aaron Leicester, MDK, Dennis the Menace, and Lord of Wine. We got your names on the big wheel. I'll see y'all later on. From here on, blah, blah, and everything. Let's scroll everybody out. Alright, scroll. I never do the scroll out. I always mess this up. Alright? So, scroll. Scroll me out, and I'll see y'all later and everything. Benny Bam. Cheers, Clean Grow. Love, peace, and bug grease, people. Pally Gal. Silly Gal, I'm sorry. See, now I'm getting all lost. Holly M. Much love. Mike Barabell, you have a great day, man. Herbie Wonka, are you still drinking your Gatorade? I mean, we went over the lemonade and the Kool-Aid and the Mountain Dew. But, I mean, every once in a while I have a Gatorade. Have a great day. Alan, Bill D with all the emojis. Love the emojis. Dumbud, have a great day. Aaron Lice, have a beautiful day. Saskia Mojo, have a much love. Everyone have a great day. Holly M, peace out to you. Carrie Craig, have a good day. Therefore, Mom, have an amazing day, everybody. Remember, Juneteenth. So, back in 1865, 2 years after the war, after the Emancipation Proclamation, which was announced, which freed everybody, freed all the slaves. You gotta read up on the history to correct me if you need to. Not everybody knew about it, because, like, it's hard to tell everybody about that stuff, especially out in Texas. Like, nobody went out to Texas, right? But, the war ended, and, wasn't it? June 19th, 1865, battalion, 20,000 troops went into Galveston, Texas, and found 200,000 slaves, and said, hey, what are you guys doing here? You're free. Get on out of here. In that Texas thing. And it was like, what the deuce? And so, like, they all was like, oh, wow, really? So, June 19th, 1865 is when everybody finally got the news, hey, no slavery. All right. Dope, right? And everyone was like, oh, all right, even out here? Yeah, dude, it's even out here. Like, and up north, all the way on up, It's like, okay, cool. Silly Texas. So, and Juneteenth, that's why it's called Juneteenth. So, alright, everybody. Love you. Remember, if you give a hug, you get one back.